Welcome to Real Talk, Real Women. My name is Miriam Khalladi and today we have certified personal trainer and coach, the amazing Caty Pasternak on the show. Welcome Caty, how are you?
Good, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. 16 years old, you were 230 pounds. How did that happen?
Well, it was a long haul. Since I was a kid, I was always a little chubby, but then as I got older, I just started to really just emotionally eat. And the bigger I got, the sadder I felt, and the more I would isolate myself and just continue eating. I wasn't active as a kid, so I really just kind of, ate my feelings and got to that really unhealthy point.
Since then, you've lost over 115 pounds. That's well over 50 kilograms, an amazing accomplishment. Tell me
Yes,
about, tell me about those first steps.
I was just fed up when I was in my junior year of high school, and I was just like, I'm going to try something different. I didn't go on any crazy diet or anything. I just decided to get a little bit more active. So it started slow, gym a couple times a week, making some minor alterations, and then my weight loss just started to, speed up, and I got really passionate about it, and I got more interested in it. And then I eventually I went to weightlifting and I fell in love with it and I became a personal trainer and it was just like a snowball effect. And so it took a long time for me to get all the weight off, but it was really slow and progressive and it was done healthfully for sure.
As you started seeing more and more results, what started out as more of a social thing turned into an obsession to the point of you being anorexic. When did you realize you were taking it too far and what did you do then?
Well, yeah, I definitely did take it too far. It's like for so many years, my whole occupation was losing weight. So it was just, all right, I'm doing this to lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. And it was at the point where, I was at my weight that I needed to be at, but I just became so obsessed with it, like you said. So I was about 21 years old and all my friends and family kind of told me, you need to put on weight, it's starting to get a problem, but I just, ignored it because they didn't know what they were talking about. But I was eating, under 500 calories a day, working out for 2 hours a day. And it got to the point where I was physically sick. I would have so many pains in my body. I was just so miserable. And after hearing, my family, confronting me, numerous times, I decided I was like, fine, I'm going to start eating more. So I started eating more. I started, getting really into weightlifting and just finding my strength. But it did still feed into an obsession ultimately, just to kind of craft the perfect body that I wanted. So I got into bodybuilding and I was a bikini competitor. And even though I wasn't anorexic, I was still very, very obsessive with my body and with my weight. And it really wasn't until after the competition where, I went into this spiral of binge eating and, depression and weight gain. And just for me to take a step back and realize, like, what am I doing to myself? Like, I'm supposed to be taking care of my body and my mind and not, like, driving this obsession. So it takes a lot for someone, I think, to just step back and realize, like, what am I doing?
You wrote on your website that as you started going to the gym, your parents were proud, but that didn't really affect you at all. You were thinking about being able to try on clothes in normal stores like Forever 21. At some point, you could, but what led you to push beyond that point regardless?
I think a lot of it was driven just by the confidence that I got from it. It was like knowing that I could lose, however much weight to get into normal size clothes. It was like, well, if I can do that, then, I can get into, really small clothes. And, I started to receive all this attention from people complimenting me on my weight loss. So I was just like, oh, this is great. Keep it coming. I'm going to keep fueling this and keep looking better.
You were doing at least 2.5 hours of cardio a day and ate less than 800 calories when your friends and family suggested you might need help. When did you realize they were right?
It was really the physical pain that I was experiencing. And, I look back at pictures now and I see, just like my ribs popping out and everything. And I didn't realize it, like, when I was looking at myself, how bad it was, but it was really like the physical stuff. And I was like, my body is like actually breaking down right now. And like, I couldn't sleep and I was just miserable. So that was really the telltale for me to, eat.
Right. When you eased out of doing so much cardio and began lifting weights, what happened in terms of a mindset shift?
I definitely still had like the body obsession on my mind, but it was very different. It wasn't like how many calories I can burn. It's like I want to build muscle. And I really enjoyed like feeling strong and, as opposed to just, cardio is boring to me. I absolutely dread it, and I always did. But like when I'm weightlifting, it's fun. It's like I feel empowered when I do it. So that really inspired my love for fitness more than anything else. Because I was like, like just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I can't like go in the weight room and like, show these guys what's up.
Right. And today you're healthy and strong. In fact, you help others achieve their healthiest self. What drives
Yes.
you to wanting to help others? And do you want to spare them from the hardship you've been through?
Yes. When I got into personal training, it was mainly because I know how depressed I was when I was overweight. And, it's inevitable because you feel bad about yourself. You're not getting, other people are ultimately judging you based on your weight. That's how our society is, unfortunately. And when you're not healthy, when you do carry a lot of the weight, you physically feel bad as well. So I know what it's like, and I would give anything to help women and people just, get to their best selves. But like you said, I didn't really realize the mental component of it until recently, which is why I kind of like switched my whole program to include a lot more wellness training, just because I don't want to see anyone go through what I went through. And like even, a lot of my girl clients that I've had, I can see the little triggers that they're becoming obsessive, and I'm like, whoa. Pump the brakes. I'm like, you look phenomenal. You're healthy. Like, that's what's most important. So I just want to push that, hardcore diets and, exercise constantly every single day is not going to get you anywhere, because it does feed an obsession. And I would rather see someone overweight and happy than skinny and miserable with the, eating disorder.
You're doing such a great job, Caty.
Thank you.
How do you personally avoid spiraling back into obsessive behavior? And where do you draw the line today?
What's really helped me out a lot actually is meditation. And I've become a very mindful person, and just learning how to separate my mind from my body, because, all day long you're having all these thoughts running through your head. You can walk by a mirror and be like, oh, I look disgusting. And you really just have to like take a step back and be with yourself and be like, I don't feel that way about myself. Like, I'm not going to keep telling myself these negative things. Like, my body is not who I am as a person. And I just really defined like my spirit, I guess, aside from my body. So I take time every day to meditate. And if I know that I have negative feelings about myself, that's just going to spiral back to where I was. So I just make sure I can stop it before it starts. And I mean, I know what actions will start that. If I go to eat something and I know that's not what I want to eat, and I'm just eating it because I think I should, that's a behavior that I don't want to follow. Or if I go and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do cardio for an hour, I don't want to do that. And all that stuff, doing what you don't want to do all the time, that's just what gets me back in that behavior. So I just, every day, it's honestly just like, okay, do I want to do this or not want to do this? And I just keep in check with myself.
And before the interview, you mentioned you wanted to touch upon the use of social media and its impact on body image.
Social media, especially Instagram, is one of those things that got me like really hyped up to start doing personal training, because I was like, oh, this is a blowing market, like I can totally get in this. But it's unfortunate that's created so much like destroyed self-esteems from girls. You just have all these fitness people posting all these images of their bodies and their workouts and their diets, and it's like in the beginning it might be inspiring to people, but it's so unrealistic, because these people, I mean, I've been there, these people don't live happy lives. You know what I mean? It's like you're constantly obsessing about food. You're constantly working out. You can't go out and have a drink with your girlfriends. Like, this is not the life that you want to live. And just because you don't look like them doesn't mean that you can't be satisfied with your life. But it's like, it's constantly on there. So we, are the millennial generation. You're constantly comparing yourself to all these people, and it's just getting easier and easier to degrade yourself. And that's why I really, appreciate other people on there that are inspiring women to be like, listen, love yourself at any size that you want. You are not your body, and, just be happy. So it's really sad, because especially, I have girls that reach out to me through Instagram that are 13 years old, like suffering with eating disorders. And it's just like, it's mind blowing to me, because like, how did we get to this point,
What advice do you have for women who are trying to live up to the perfect physiques they see on social media and in the magazines?
No physique will ever make you happy. And that's what the first thing is, because I have been underweight, I have been, like lean, I've been overweight. None of that makes me happy. You can't believe that your weight is going to make you happy. So you really have to appreciate and love yourself before you get into weight loss. But of course, we all want to be confident in our bodies. But the only way to do that is in what works for you. So you can't have a coach, like I'm a coach, but I'm not going to give you a strict diet plan, a strict workout. I need to know what works for you, because the only thing that's going to be sustainable is something that you can do. So if you are obsessed with chocolate, then eat chocolate every day. Like, that's totally fine. We can make it work. But when you start getting that voice inside your head that, like, I'm doing something bad, that's what fuels negative behavior. Then you get in that deprived binge cycle. If you don't have time to work out 3 times a week, even go for a walk 10 minutes a day. It's just about finding what works for you and just appreciating yourself the entire time.
Right. And you competed in a bikini competition and realized that it was not for you. You write a lot about feeling happiness in your own body. Does your experience competing relate back to your perspective on body image and loving yourself?
I did the competition. I was like, this is going to be great for me because I'm going to challenge myself, and like, I'm a really hard worker, so I was all about it. But it was like, the more and more I got into prepping for it, it's like, I'm once again, social media, I'm looking at girls that are, and I'm like, my body's never going to look like that. Like, how am I going to compete with these girls? And even that day of, I'm looking around and I'm like, my body's not like this. And it's like, it just builds all this anxiety inside of you. And you're just like, well, she's working out harder than me. She's lifting heavier than me. She has a better diet than me. And it's like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? My family, you said that to me. I mean, they all came to support me at my show, but they were like, why are you doing this? And it was an amazing accomplishment. Like, I don't regret it at all. It taught me a lot about myself, but I don't need to, diet and kill myself and strut myself up, naked in heels on stage to know what my body is worth to me. So that's kind of where I drew the line.
And where can people learn more about you and connect with you online?
My website, coachingbycaty.com, or my Instagram, which is Caty_Pasternak. I can give you the links for that. But yeah, I'm just always available.
Okay, and I'll also make sure to put your links below this video.
Oh, thank you so much.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about today that you feel we've missed?
No, I think that's good. Thank you for having me. And I want all women to love themselves because you deserve it.
This has been amazing, Caty. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Miriam Khalladi. For more inspiration, check out our website at realtalkrealwomen.com.